Somewhat slow, I think, to adopt some of these ideas about using analytics. So where do you see the disruption coming, and what kind of changes would you expect to see in the industry and the sector to actually allow for this kind of information to really embed more in daily practices of the business models of how people are operating?
Well, yeah, that is kind of putting me on the spot.
Or you can feel free to answer any other question.
Okay, well, that's a really interesting question, but I think that there's a much more interesting question. This is a technique.
Of course, yes, your own question.
If I had to speculate really quickly, I would say that it had to do with the sort of the efficiency of use of real estate. I think as we sort of start to gather more information about how people are using their real estate, because it's sort of, it's getting so much more granular. And this is an industry in which the data are sort of relatively coarse, right? In terms of, this isn't like, web search where you're generating sort of millions of pieces of data, a year. And so as we sort of get more location data, and as we get sort of more granular data about, the actual sort of patterns of movement and the patterns of usage, I think that, you'll start to see a generation of companies that will sort of invent new ways of using what we have more effectively. And, that's speculative, because I wouldn't be able to point you to any one company that is doing that as yet. Yes. But that's possibly where we're going. I also have a lot of thoughts on